Whoa. Oh, hey guys. Oh. I can hear myself talking. Oh, it's playing in like my Messenger app. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Hi guys. Thanks for being here. Okay. Cool. And thank you guys so much for being here and also like waiting for me. I saw the chat before I came in and you guys were like hanging out already. Yeah, I posted a Q&A last week, so maybe this isn't the best time to do a live stream just to chat and like ask questions and catch up, but I took last week off and like did a little vacation of sorts. And the way like creating YouTube videos works for me, at least right now, is like I kind of come up with the concept, film the idea, and then work on editing it. Usually for like 5-ish days. I'm preparing a video for like 5 days in advance. So in order to get a video up on Wednesday, I would have had to have been doing that last week, right? So since I took last week off, I couldn't do that. So that's why we're here. And I don't really have any certain topics to talk about today, but whatever you guys want to talk about is what we'll do. And we'll just be here for like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 to an hour, something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to start reading your chats, I guess. Excuse me. Proud of you for taking time off. Thank you so much, Emily. Yeah, you guys, it's kind of a weird job. Like this is a very weird job to feel all the time like I'm very lucky and I love my job, but it gets exhausting. You know, I think a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into doing this as a job. And it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you as well. So thank you guys for being understanding. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are still okay. I'm not going to answer all of these questions about pets because that is one of my most requested videos and I'm working on it. And we talked about it in the last live stream if you were here. But basically, I used to feed Tippy a brand of cat food that was package free to me. And ever since COVID, basically all the bulk shops that have the cat food have shut down. So right now he's not eating anything particularly sustainable, although I always avoid beef in his food because that's the most like resource intensive meat, and cats are meant to be carnivores. Tippy is not a vegan. So yeah, I'm working on a video for that. The answer is like I'm trying to do all the research and all the little categories to give you guys the best answers. I'd also love to hear anything that you guys use that you would like me to put in that video. But let's not spend on that because it's a very deep topic and I don't have all the answers to it. So, oh, Kayla says, how do you like your bike? I love it. I am just out of shape, which is like goes without saying, but we were working out like 2 to 3 times a week before the gyms all shut down. And then obviously the gym shut down. And I really have not been working out like literally hardly at all, I guess, since lockdown, because we couldn't go to the gym. And then also just like my mental, what's been going on in my head hasn't been great due to lockdown. And then also just, you know, a lot of personal stuff this year. You guys are on my secret newsletter. You probably heard we dealt with a really major death in our family, and it's just been a lot. So riding my bike has been a lot of fun, but it's made me realize like I'm not in shape. Like we went to Austin over the weekend and we tried to do a ride just from like, if you guys know anything about Austin, there's like a bridge that crosses the river and it's Congress. And then I would say it's probably like a mile down to cross the highway and then come back. And my ass was just hurting so much. And then I realized I'm not so much in shape, but the bike itself is great. Love it. Super pumped that I have it and excited to see, you know, what else I can do with it to utilize it instead of my car so much. So, let's see. International No Eat Meat Day. You know, it's a start. Not you know, the end all be all kind of thing, but oh yeah, someone told me on the vlog channel that I need to get a woman's seat. Apparently I have a man's seat on my bike, and I guess that makes a difference. I'm going to try it because my ass just keeps hurting and I don't want to deal with it. So a simple seat swap can fix that. Then I'm going to try it. Also, this hair over here looks a little crazy, huh? A little bit. Just going to try to ignore that. A lot of you guys ask this question every time we get on here, I feel like. I hate this. I hate you guys that some of the most requested topics are like big in-depth topics, and I'm just constantly trying to keep up with my 2 videos a week schedule. And so I don't do deep dives into the bigger topics you guys talk about or ask about, but they are on my list. So like a lot of you are asking about degrees in environmental science. And I'll just tell you that I'm working on 2 things. I want to write a book. I've been saying this forever, a lot of work there, but I want to write a book called Should I Major in Environmental Science, where I explore like all the different categories that are environmental science because it's so broad. And then I want to like interview people from my past, like people I went to school with, what jobs they have, my professors, like just a lot of information. I don't think one video or me like giving you one-off advice is going to be all that helpful. So I'm working on that. And then also I'm trying to start a scholarship that is in the works. I'm like talking to an organization who can help me manage it. So all those things are coming that has to do with environmental science. So I hope that helps. Okay, I just saw a super chat come in. Hold on. Oh God, okay. Eco Minimalism. Cute name. Love that, obviously. Love eco minimalism. Hope one day to collab with you. You are one of the biggest inspirations of the low waste movement. Thank you so much. I wish I knew what your name was, but eco minimalism. I'm about it. Thank you so much. You guys definitely do not have to give me super chats, but it makes it easier for me to see them for sure. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh God. That's an interesting question. How do you feel about Lululemon? They say they're sustainable. I don't know anything about their sustainability initiatives. I would have to look. But I have a feeling that they're probably not, considering they never have been before. Like maybe they have a sustainable line. A lot of brands are doing that, like coming out with a sustainable line. Like Fabletics, I think, just came out with one. And all that kind of thing. And here's something that really frustrates me, and it's a very, very delicate balance, and I don't know the perfect answer to it, but we want brands, like regular brands, right, to start being more sustainable so that the overall world is sustainable. Like the whole goal of sustainability is that it's the baseline, not like the rare person that's being sustainable. Like, does that make sense? So it's like this weird situation where brands who are already established start doing these like eco lines, or they introduce something that's eco-friendly when traditionally they're a horrible business. So for instance, I think, is it Old Spice that just introduced that they're going to release a paper carton deodorant, which is great. But then I feel like there are smaller brands who have been sustainable for years, if not decades, that get overlooked because now the big guys have enough money to put resources into sustainable things because it's trendy. And then the little guy kind of gets crushed. Does that make sense? So it's a really weird, delicate balance that I'm always trying to figure out how I feel about it. I guys think about it. But for me, I try to stick with the smaller sustainable brands than like switch to, the big brands when they come out with things. There's a big plane flying by. How do you do low waste with plants? I've recently found how unsustainable perlite is. Wonder what you do with all your plants. Yeah, so my plants are not particularly the lowest waste plants. Like obviously all of them come in plastic pots. I reuse pretty much all of them. I never throw them away. And then when they are too cracked to be reused anymore, I recycle them. I do not use perlite. I do not use peat moss. Both of those things do have significant environmental impacts, which obviously I want to avoid. So instead of peat moss, I use cocoa coir, which comes from waste product from coconuts. And then I use instead of perlite, I use lava rock. Is that what it's called? It's like or is it pumice? I can't remember what it's called. But my biggest tip when you're purchasing those things is obviously to look at the way that they are extracted, because peat moss comes from peat bogs, which are like endangered, and it's a horrible thing to be doing just to have like plants and that kind of thing. But I try to look for local things that are bought and made, produced, sold from local vendors. And then sometimes you can find it package free. So like the city of San Antonio, they have also compost that you can go and get. It's just like in big heaps, and you just pull up, get what you can fit in your like little bin thing, and just drive away with it. No packaging, and it's local, and all that kind of thing. So there's no perfect answer. It would be a very localized view of how to do things. But those are just a few examples of how I do it. Oh, this is an interesting question. Why is it seen as something feminine to be sustainable? Why do you think there's a majority of women in sustainability? Rosa, I think that it's because a lot of things that we talk about in the sustainability movement, at least from a personal footprint standpoint, is because a lot of those areas that we focus on have to do with self-care. So like feminine products or beauty products or shower products, and then also the kitchen, which both things are traditionally feminine oriented, what, for lack of a better word. I think that's a big part of why. And also just women seem to be a lot of times more connected with things like outside of ourselves. And that's like, I'm not trying to blanket statement, either gender, not even gender. What is the word for the, you know what I mean? I shouldn't talk about things like this live because I hate to trip over my words, but I think that's why. I think it comes from just the way that our society is kind of structured and societal norms, all that kind of thing. But I do think there are also guys getting into it, like Levi Hildebrand. I really, really like him. He's a YouTuber here. And then Bailey's texting me. And then I'm trying to think who else. Over on Instagram, there's a guy named Joel, which I really like to follow him. And I'm trying to think who else is a guy. But also, you know what? Like, dudes are like at the top of every other industry. So like, I'm okay if women have one. Like, I guess everybody needs to be a part of the sustainability movement, obviously. But yeah, I think it's okay if women get to remain at the top of one sector of, progress. Also, this sweater, if you guys saw me thrift it in a ThredUp haul like a couple weeks ago, it's from Madewell. It's the perfect color, and I absolutely love it. But I laid it there, right? And Tippy laid down on it one day and then just decided from now on it's his. He just keeps coming back and laying on it in my office where he'll sleep. You might have seen him in my Q&A. He was literally sleeping right there. And he's just decided that that's his little spot now. What a cutie. So, yeah, I guess I lost that sweater for now. Okay. Okay, sorry. I wish I know some of you asked me last time if you could be my moderators, and then I forgot to set that up for this time because this was kind of sudden. But I'm looking through your questions so we can pick another one out. Yeah, Tracy, a lot of people ask about eco-anxiety. Can you guys tell me in the chat, just say yes or no. Do you feel like you have or you deal with eco-anxiety? Yes, you do. No, you don't. I feel like I have anxiety in general. And because I've had anxiety for a really long time, literally like everyone says yes. Okay, I would love to hear how you deal with it. But that must be also nice to know that you're not alone in that, everybody who's reading it. I feel like I did for a long time because I've had anxiety for like most of my adult life, or all of my adult life that I can remember. And I've had to just learn how to deal with my anxiety and like overthinking things and not focusing on things that are out of my control, because it will lead me to a really bad place really fast. And I think that's something that I think the same way you cope with general anxiety is the same way you cope with eco-anxiety, which I learned through going to therapy. But the best tip I can give you is what I try to do is to focus on things that I can control and not focus too much on the things that I can't, right? So things within my life, I can control. Like, I can control what I do, and I can control how I vote, and I can control how I hold companies accountable. I can do all these little actions that inevitably are the reason that bigger corporations are going to change their actions, are the things that enact policies, obviously reduce our own footprint in our daily lives. But I can't let myself get stressed out that I can't solve the world's problems. And so I have these two circles that are like things I can control and things that I can worry about. And then I try to categorize things that I can't control and things that I am not allowed to worry about. So basically, I know, trust me, because like I said, I have general anxiety. I know it's a lot easier for me to say that than for anyone to do it. But I try really, really hard to tell myself, like, you can worry about this, or even if there's something that you can't control and you can't fix, figure out what you can do about it that you can control. I'm trying to think of some examples, but I hope that helps. That's just the best way I've learned how to do it, and I've had associated with my anxiety also control issues. So it's been a long time for me to overcome those issues, but those are my best tips. You have hanging plants from your ceiling. They're just anchored hooks. They're like little hooks that have anchors that go into the ceiling. And then the anchor is basically like once it pops to the ceiling, it opens like this. So the plant can't pull it down. Hi, Dee. Thank you so much. Found you and thought you are an Aquarius. Turns out you are. How did you know? People ask me that a lot. Yes, I'm an Aquarius. I don't know if I have the traits of being an Aquarius. I mean, you're saying I do, so I guess I do. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff. But Madison is also a Virgo. In case any of you wonder, people ask me that all the time. So, yes, there's your answer. Callie said, Shelby, did I see somewhere you're quitting YouTube? I believe it was for a little bit. Oh, yeah. Not going to quit YouTube. I took last week off. That's all. I clickbaited leaving the internet. That's probably why I thought that. That's my life. Yeah, I talked about that last time on the live stream as well, guys. Like why certain titles and clickbait and why I can't make certain videos and why I can. But just, the YouTube algorithm and the way you get punished if you don't do something right or wrong is not fun. You have to play the YouTube game. So I hope that's okay with you. Sorry. Oh, does Madison have a birthday coming up? So, CJ, what actually was a good, I don't know if the word is like turn of events. What do you say? Coincidence. Madison's birthday was on what day of the week? On the 27th. I don't remember what day of the week it is, but basically the week that I took off the internet was also her birthday. So we went on a little mini vacation because I needed a break and also because it was her birthday. So her birthday was on Thursday. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Trinity. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I'll tell her you guys said happy birthday. She's upstairs. She's working from home, so she works for another 40-ish minutes, and then she'll be off. But yeah, it's been fun. 2 people working from home during the whole lockdown situation. And I used to hate recording when people are in the house. I literally would be, so the way Madison and I used to function was she would leave the house on Tuesdays and Thursdays to go to the office. And those were the days that I would record videos because I did not like to record with other people in the house. And I thought it was going to be horrible when we first went into lockdown trying to record with her in the house, but it hasn't been so bad. I'm really, really grateful for that. Oh, also, do you guys remember when I put up the carpet squares back here when we first moved in and they were kind of draped like this behind me? I took them down because there's plenty of shit in this room now. The echo is not bad. But I would love to know if you guys like it or if you like them better there. Because when I first put them up, most of you said you hated them. So I just took them down and didn't mention it. But yeah, they're gone. Emily said, just our first box of Who Gives a Crap. Thank you for talking about accessible sustainability. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope you love it. I love Who Gives a Crap. I just actually shot a Instagram ad with them on Monday. So like I might be in an ad that you might see on Instagram. Tag me in it if you see me. That'll be fun. Hi guys, you guys are nice. I love the carpet squares. Well, I still have them, but I don't think I'm gonna put them back up here. Maybe I'll do something else with them. Cindy, does your sister still live with you? She does. She kind of moved out whenever lockdown started. Not moved out, but she just wasn't living here because her husband, it's complicated. Her husband lives in Dallas, and since she wasn't having to go into class for school, she could do school from anywhere. So obviously she would rather go be with her husband instead of staying here with us. But then she just now started having to go in for clinicals. So she's in PA school. So she's been going in, like, essentially I think she's like assisting a doctor right now. I don't really understand what's going on with her, but yeah, she lives here. She's just she's at a rotation right now at a clinical. I don't know the words in the medical field. I'm just like, she's somewhere and she's doing something. I don't know. She lives here. Yeah, she still lives here. What is happening? Oh, yeah. The plastic tape also, by the way, on Who Gives a Crap is going away within the next like couple months, just so you know. Like that's the only part of plastic in their whole production line, and they're getting rid of it within the next like month or two. Like whenever I was helping them film the shots of the box, they asked me not to put the tape on the bottom because they sent me, it's complicated anyway, regardless. And I asked them why, and they said because by the time this comes out, we don't know if we'll have switched over to completely plastic free tape or not yet. So yes, Who Gives a Crap will be entirely plastic free soon. But I think that in regards to buying regular toilet paper that's not recycled and is wrapped in plastic, I still think it's a much better alternative. Oh, you guys are sweet. Oh, yeah, toilet paper. I'm also, I think, supposed to be working with them soon, so stay tuned for that if you want the discount code. That's a good question. I don't know how to say your name, Urza, but Shelbizleee with 3 E's was a stupid mistake on my part because whenever I made this channel, I just needed to come up with a username because I didn't want my last name to be public because my last name, I'm the only person with my name. Oh, I think there's one other person actually with my name in this whole country. So I didn't want to make that public. And I just had to come up with a username. So I threw out Shelbizleee, and then I wanted all of my usernames to match on like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously. And the only way I could do that is if I added some more E's at the end. That's why. It was a really stupid mistake on my part, but I don't know. I debate on changing it all the time. But now my YouTube plaque has Shelbizleee on it. And if I got rid of it, would that be sad? Probably. Oh, yay! Roxanne says she ordered some things and she loves them. That makes me so happy. I get nervous because, especially when it comes to things like periods, right? Like we all have different things that we do and don't like, and like what's going to work for me might not work for you. And I try to talk about them just being like my perspective, and I get nervous that you guys buy anything that I love and then you don't love it. So it makes me really happy that you like it. That's good. Oh my God. Adriana says, I tried to install a bidet in my college room and ended up flooding the whole hall. You have to make sure you turn off the water first. I've heard a lot of people have made that mistake. I hope that was okay. I hope you're okay. It sounds so scary. Oh. This is my bed. Just my bed in my office. Bailey, stop it. Anyway, this is just a bed I bought for my office because sometimes I don't like to sit. So my desk can go from sitting like this to also it raises up so that I can stand. And then sometimes if I want to lay down, I go over there. Because just like my brain works differently depending on how I'm sitting. And also it's a guest bed for when my parents come. My dad is obsessed with this mattress. He hates air mattresses. So my mom always brings her air mattress and she sleeps on it. And then my dad sleeps right there. and they love this mattress so much that they literally bought one of their own. So this mattress is from the futon shop, and it's amazing. I also love it. Okay, let's see what Bailey said. For Madison's birthday, y'all go get some sweet treats on me. Oh, Bailey. You know what? I'm sure Madison would just love if you made her some. But also, now we can go to Miss Chickpeas and get some. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. What else is going on? You guys also do not have to give me, what are they called? Super chats? Yeah. I appreciate it, though, Bailey. Thank you so much. I recently found your channel, and I love it. Thank you so much, Daniela. Uh-oh. Do you get questioned because you make more ethical decisions on purchases, which in turn can sometimes mean spending more money on something? If so, how do you combat people's comments? Yeah, it's complicated because some people don't really care about what I have to say, right? So I get that comment all the time. So I'm just going to give you an example. And if you're on my newsletter, you will have heard about this, or you will hear about it, I think, next Monday. But I am buying a few wedding dresses secondhand. And I was talking to my cousin yesterday about one of the ones that I bought, which was only like $500. And I'm sure if you've ever gotten married or looked into wedding dresses, it is not a lot in the world of wedding dresses, okay? I bought it secondhand. And I told my cousin that I paid $500 for it. And she was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "Isn't that expensive?" And I said, "No." And I said, like when you buy it new, it was probably like $1,000. It's from an Etsy seller. This girl bought it and decided she didn't like it. So she sold it on Poshmark. And I was happy to pay it for it, even if I had bought it new. Like, it was ethically handmade lace detailing. Like, obviously, I'm completely like, yes, thank you. And I just explained to her, when garments like this are this intricate, they are going to be expensive because you're paying someone a fair living wage. I won't get into also that she bought like a bunch of Amazon dresses as alternatives for her to wear to the wedding. And anyway, so yes, I get that a lot. And I always just respond by saying, the reason that things that you think are affordable or are normal prices are that way because companies take shortcuts in the way that they are not paying workers fair wages. That's the biggest piece. And then also they take all of these shortcuts, you know what I mean, for not taking responsibility for their emissions or the water that they're discharging, or having safe conditions for people who work for them. They don't have to pay for certifications that sustainable businesses do. They don't, there's so many shortcuts involved in like exploiting our planet and the people who live on it to make affordable goods. And I always just try to explain that. But also, I don't waste my breath too often on people who don't want their minds changed. That's just been something I've learned over the years to not give my energy to. So, yeah. See, $500 is incredibly cheap for a wedding dress. Yeah. Sorry, I missed all your questions about the wedding dress. If you guys think $500 is cheap or not. So I'm recording all of the stuff. Yeah, see, you guys are all saying $500 is a very nice price. I'm not even mad about it at all. I have no complaints, but I'm recording everything that I am doing. Like, I already did a try on, and then I'll compile all of it together for what do you call it? For like one video after everything is said and done and over. So yeah. Sneak peek, I think I will do. Well, I'm not going to show you the dresses, I don't think, on my newsletter, but I'm going to show you some other things I bought for the wedding when I went thrifting this last weekend. So stay tuned for that. Okay. No. Okay, Bailey. Actually, so I think I'm going to go this weekend. There's a new zero waste store in San Antonio, and I'm going to try to go visit it, I think this weekend or maybe next week, and I'm going to vlog it for the channel. So, and what else am I going to do in that video? I don't know. But I'm definitely going to go check that stuff out. So you guys can see it. I'm excited about that. Have you been, Bailey, to see it already? Sorry. Oh, good question, Callie. So, do you have brands yet? Sustainable jewelry for your wedding? Ring? Oh, not our rings. So Madison doesn't wear jewelry. I'll probably just end up buying her something on Etsy, maybe made of like rubber or recycled materials or something. I think that'll be really simple. But the ring we just made sure that we didn't buy any diamonds, any natural mined diamonds, because they're really, really problematic in terms of resources, but also in terms of child labor and just really scary stuff that goes on in the mining industry. So my ring is a moissanite. It's not a diamond. If you ever see it, I'm not wearing it right now. I always forget to put it back on after I take a shower. And it's not super tight. Like this ring is super tight and I had it resized and it's still a little bit loose, but, anyway, so I just made sure that we avoided diamonds. That was my number one. And then I wanted to get it also made of recycled materials, so recycled platinum. And that's pretty much it. But I am going to, when I release the video for the wedding, I know that's where a lot of questions will come in about that. So I'll have a whole post of ethical, sustainable wedding rings when I post that video. But again, lots of research goes into finding these things, as I'm sure you know if you've ever tried to look, and a lot of like making sure that they are verified and have certifications to prove that they're doing what they're saying they're doing. So all of that research is currently happening and will be ready probably late October. Cool. I missed one of your super chats. What did you say? Just got here. Wedding talk. Love you. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about, someone asked how I explain to people when things are expensive because they're ethical. And I was just giving an example about one of the wedding dresses I bought. So that's where that came from. But thank you so much for the super chat. I love you too. Oh, okay. Cool. Is Madison going to wear a suit or a dress for the wedding? Madison would never wear a dress. So she's not wearing a dress. But also I don't think she's going to do a suit. I think she'll just do... Last time we talked about it, she's just going to wear like a button down with a vest and a cute little bow tie. And yeah, it's not going to be anything super formal or spectacular, which is, I've started looking at other influencers' weddings, and it's so weird because I feel like a lot of them like basically make their wedding into like a very like Instagram worthy opportunity. And I don't wanna. Like, I don't wanna. I don't know. I don't care about this that much. I just wanna, like, get married and, like, yeah, sure, wear a pretty dress and get all dressed up for one day, but I don't need it to be, like, the most aesthetic, amazing, world-stopping event. So, that's just me, though. I'm pretty simple and boring. Do you think the houseplant industry is wasteful? In terms of what? So I think it can be. So I guess I need to know what you mean. So I think that I was talking about earlier about the issues behind peat moss. And then I also think that a lot of people are buying houseplants right now because it's trendy and not learning about how to take care of them and keep them alive. And so then they end up dying. And then I don't know if you just throw them away or you go buy another one. I think that all sucks. But I think plants have been something that I've wanted in my home for so long. And even if if there's criticism behind houseplants being wasteful, that's fine. Like it's my hobby and I really, really like houseplants. So for me, I don't see them as wasteful. They bring a lot of joy to my life, but there are definitely issues behind just about any industry. And as long as you know about those issues and you try to make better choices in those areas, I think, we're all just doing the best we can do. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But I know there's a lot of like hype around them right now. I guess they're trendy and that kind of sucks. But yeah. Also, what's the alternative? People buying fake houseplants that are made of plastic and they will end up on the planet literally forever. I don't know. I hate fake houseplants. Uh-oh. Can you guys still hear me? It froze on me for a second. Thank you, Jasmine. Yeah, the irony of fake plants. I definitely went on a rant about those in an anti-haul once upon a time. Yeah, the irony of like, okay, you guys can all still see me. I think there's a lag though, like between when I asked you and when I saw your answers. I think there's a lag. So sorry if I see your questions late, but yes, Jasmine, very much ironic. Like plants that are like meant to clean the air and be something good for the planet, and then we've turned them into like a plastic commodity is very much an ironic situation. Also, thank you so much for the super chat. That's really sweet. Okay. Madison, that's also something that's on my to-do list, ethical banking. So I was actually talking about it on my Instagram story today about finances a little bit. And I can give you a couple recommendations, but I'm trying to, at the moment, make a list, right? So whenever I come to you guys and I recommend something like banking, it's not just as simple as like a checking account, right? I'm trying to find answers for investments. So right now, I just finally got my IRA back on track since I quit my job. And I also want to have resources for credit cards and savings accounts and all of those different accounts when I do recommend some things to you. So that's why that's taking a little bit longer. But I hope that helps. I'll have that post. You know, these are the big things that I'm thinking about and like are kind of like in the works. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay. What is a super chat? It's just the little, what do you call it? The little paid questions that come up. Also, my editor is here. Hi, Tara. Thank you so much. She's a godsend. Definitely the reason I haven't burnt out sooner, I think, was bringing Tara onto the team. Oh, God. So this is an interesting question. I keep seeing you ask it, Katie. Thoughts on HelloFresh? I think they're pretty sustainable. I don't think that, but I would love to hear what you guys think. Do you guys think HelloFresh is sustainable? You could just say yes or no in the chat. I know HelloFresh has reached out to me and sponsored me a few times, and what I've realized is they add a lot of extra packaging that just doesn't need to be there if you don't need it. Like, I think it's a good solution for families who don't have time, but if you're looking at it from a sustainability standpoint, I don't think it is at all. There's a lot of extra packaging. Obviously, you're shipping only a couple meals to the house. I know they've made efforts, which I definitely appreciate. I just think they're not there yet. They've reached out to me several times, and every time I look over their initiatives, they're just not good enough for me. So that's just how I feel about it. But I say again, there are a lot of families out there who it's really helpful for them for saving time. And so I know that those resources are helpful for people, but just from a sustainability standpoint, I'm not a fan. Oh. How do you offset your carbon emissions? I saw one of your videos, but have been unable. Now I'm able. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so I use this service. Let me see if I can put it in the description, in the chat for you. I use this service called Go Climate. Well, it used to be Go Climate Neutral. I think now they're just Go Climate. And basically what you can do is you just take a really quick quiz, and I'll link the video where I talk about it because their link. Let me just check as I'm talking to you. But yeah, you basically calculate your carbon footprint, and then they have a bunch of different projects that they use. Hey guys, it's Shelbi. That they use your monthly fee to support, and you can go on their website, and they only support gold standard projects, so you can assure that they're actually going to good causes. So I definitely always recommend them. I really, really like them as a service. I'll link them in the chat for you. Well, this is the video. the video where I talk more about it if you want to learn more about it. I just linked it in the chat for you. Oh, yeah. Also, I saw that you guys are asking about glasses recommendations. So my glasses are not, they're not prescription, and I have perfect 20/20 vision, which Madison gets really mad that I wear any glasses because I have perfect vision. And she's like, you don't understand the struggle of people who have to wear glasses and you wear them for fun. And she gets frustrated. But hold on. My website has been acting super weird recently. Just give me 1 second. I do have a blog post of all the sustainable brands I know of that are doing glasses. And I think some of them do make prescription glasses. These ones are just blue light blocking glasses. And I got them from Pila. So in case you guys wanted to know about these. And they are linked in this post as well if you want to see them. I mean, maybe. Where is the post at? Oh God, I've lost it. Give me a minute. I saw someone ask that on the community tab post, so I wanted to make sure I had it ready for you, but now I can't find it. Okay, let me just Google it. Shelbizleee eyewear or Ecosia. I met these guys from Italy once who were like, Americans are so funny. They just like take things that are nouns and turn them into verbs. Like, I'll just Google it. It's like, yeah. Even when you're talking about using like a Ecosia search engine. Okay, there's the link to the glasses post for those of you who want it. I believe it covers blue light blocking glasses, sunglasses, as well as a couple prescription brands. So hope that helps. Whew. Uh-oh, did I miss someone's question? Sorry. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of questions. I'm trying to pick out the ones that you guys want. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Instagram. Highlight on Instagram with your discount. I do. I should make a what is it called? A Instagram highlight of that. But I do have a website or a part of my website that has all of my discount codes. It's just shelbizleee.com/discounts. And I also talked about, I'll put that in the chat right now. I also talked about that a while ago in my newsletter, I think, but a lot of people think that I don't get commission based on any codes that you guys use. Anytime I give you a code to use as a discount, it's just for you to use. However, I do make commissions when you click a link sometimes. So I think all the links in that discounts post are probably my affiliate links. So if you use the link, I make a commission. But if you just use the code, I don't. So just so that's clear, the codes are just for you guys. Thank you. My codes are very easy to find. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's that discount codes page is something that I've been asked about for a long time. And so I was like, I should probably put that together. So if I'm looking at it, it's like there's Thinx, Earth Hero, Imperfect Foods, ThreadUp, Tentree, Pila, Who Gives a Crap, Airbnb, Native, Care of. All the brands that I use on like such a regular basis. So I feel like it's really helpful, hopefully. What is, do you mind me? People under 18. Yeah, I really need to do a video about that. So that was one of the things I wanted to do in my Zero Waste Transformation series was go, not live with someone, but go visit someone who was a minor and like whose parents really didn't want them to live sustainably and how to help them. But honestly, speaking from my experience, until I go to someone's house and can help them, I don't know how to give you any tips because my parents didn't let me do anything when I was still living at their house. Like they would never have paid for something extra or that was more expensive to be sustainable. I guess I could have maybe got them into thrift shopping back then. But I couldn't even, my mom wouldn't even let me set up like my own recycling bin to like take to a recycling facility because we didn't have recycling. But she wouldn't even let me set up my own recycling bin to take them because she said that bugs would get into the recycling. So yeah, I just don't have a lot of tips for people who are younger living at home, especially if your parents are telling you no. And if they tell you yes, then I feel like all the tips are the same. So I really, I'm working. I want to one day, when the Zero Waste Transformation series can continue, when it's not so, risky to go into other people's homes like it is right now, I would love to do a series on that. But I don't really have a lot of tips at the moment. Sorry. Emily, can we get an Aggie shout out, please? If you guys didn't know, I'm an Aggie. I went to Texas A&M. It's not something I take great pride in, but, well, I don't love Texas A&M as a school, but I do love the geoscience college there, and the professors and the students and advisors. Everybody I worked with at A&M was amazing. The school itself is questionable. So shout out to any Aggies in the audience, but also that school has a lot of questionable affiliations and like long-standing beliefs that I just don't really love. And I didn't know about them prior to going to school, so there's that. I speak slower live. I think I talk really fast. I've been working with some people, like helping other businesses create content for their social media, and every time they'll be like, hey, can you just slow down? And I don't even realize that I talk fast, but I think I do it when I get nervous, so maybe that's why. A day in the life of Tippy. Okay. Sorry, I need to scroll back up. I'm missing your questions. Any sustainable planners out there for school? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I think it's interesting that a lot of the questions I get when I ask for questions are like, do you know of a sustainable thing for XYZ? And I actually try to make blog posts on like all of those things. So go check out my website, because there's a whole blog post on sustainable planners over there. I would totally watch a Tippy day in the life. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I try to keep it really quiet because I feel like my main YouTube channel has turned into my job, my career, and I feel like in my head there's like a certain set of content that is appropriate for the channel, and I want a YouTube channel area of YouTube that can be just for fun and that I don't have to think about. I don't have to, there's no like set standards for it. And so Madison and I have a channel called Shelbi and Madison, and we just started posting on it within the last couple months again. And I've been thinking about doing a day in the life of Tippy over on that channel. So if you guys want to see that, that is probably where something like that will happen. I just have to get I want to get like a harness for him so that I can attach the GoPro to it and then follow him around all day. Maybe I'll put that on my list of to-dos after we get off of here, because I always forget, I always forget these things. So let me make a note. I say that because it's something I've wanted to do for a really long time, and I just slacken. I'm surprised he hasn't come in here, but he's been sleeping on the living room a lot more recently. Also, because this room is the coldest room in the house. So the rest of the house was the original build, and they built this room onto the house, the previous owners did, for their dad, who was had to come live with them, and so they built him this room. And the AC unit is right outside this room. So when it comes into the house, it passes through here. And this is the coldest room in the house. So just to maintain 76 degrees out in the living room, it gets a lot colder in here. And I think he doesn't like being that cold. So he stays out in the living room sometimes. Yeah. Oh, that was my point. I try to keep the second channel very quiet, very under wraps, because I don't want it to amount to me ever feeling pressure over there. That was my point in going on that rant that I didn't really conclude for you, but. Oh, sorry. That's a good question. Esther? I don't want to say your name wrong, but thank you. My favorite videos to film are probably the ones that are a little bit more like vlog style, but about a certain thing, if that makes sense. So like recently, a couple of my favorites have been like my testing different things that you guys get for Instagram ads. I really liked that video. The trying to get TikTok famous video, I really, really liked it. I think I also really like those videos because I film them very casually. Like I don't overthink it. It's just like point and shoot stuff. And then I've been giving it to my editor, Tara. I don't know if she's still here, but she was. And she turns it into like me casually filming myself just in the moment and doing something I love. And then she turns it into something beautiful and entertaining for you guys. So those have been my favorites. And I'm trying to come up with more video ideas like that. So if you think you have anything that fits into that realm, definitely let me know. You can message me on Instagram. I don't always get back to everybody on Instagram, but I try to read all of my DMs. So you can let me know over there. Oh, good question, Callie. If you guys didn't know, I feel like so many things in my life are like this. If you didn't know, Madison and I bought a van like a couple years ago, actually. And we started converting it, and then something traumatic happened in our lives. And I talked about that again on the newsletter and also I think on our vlog channel, but I don't want to get into it here. But Madison and I did buy a van a couple years ago to convert it into a little like travel, thing for us. And then that happened, and then the conversion slowed down a lot. So there is like, if I could tell you what is in the van already, there's like the bed and then the kitchen, or no, maybe like the overhead cabinets are done, but like we still need to put in the solar, we still need to put in the water tanks, like a lot of stuff still needs to be done to it. It would be able to go a lot faster, but the van is at my parents' house, so they live about 3.5 hours from us, and then they have all the tools. Like my dad has so many fucking tools that I don't have, and we also don't have room to keep the van here. So in order to work on it, we have to go to my parents' house, which I have only been once or twice during lockdown. I really don't want to be around my parents too much because they're both very at-risk people, and I would hate myself if they got sick from seeing me. So it's been one thing after another, like just a lot of stuff going on. So not a lot of progress there, but if we ever do start making progress on the van again, it will put it on the Shelbi and Madison channel. So cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you do, I try to do them at least once a month now, and I feel like it's good for me to do that, and we could do them a little bit more often. And if you have any questions as well, always make sure you're following me over on Instagram, because I do Q&As there, but I also get questions for Q&As over there. Like if I'm going to film a Q&A YouTube video, I get the questions from Instagram. So make sure you're following me over there. And yeah, it's time for me to go make us out. Look who came to see us. Teep. Teepee. Hey, I think people would like to say hi to you. He gets pretty antsy always right around 4 o'clock because that's when Madison gets off work. And also traditionally when I'll quit working and we take him outside into the garden so he gets to hang out. But I think I'm going to go do that now. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one.